Level 1. Noob. At this stage, players don't really understand when it's best to hit, stand, double, or split, and are willing to take large chances based on luck alone. This means they don't consider the probabilities and generic go-to rules when playing blackjack, putting them at a disadvantage to the house by much more. In fact, noobs will not consider the dealer's up card and how this can be used to make more informed decisions. The up card is used to estimate the dealer's potential hand value, such as deciding to stand on a soft hand or hit on a hard hand, but these methods are more intermediate based. Level 2. Intermediate. Intermediates are now aware of when you should be hitting or standing, but they also consider the types of cards at play and how this affects their chances of winning. In particular, intermediates now understand the difference between a soft hand and a hard hand and whether to hit. A soft hand is where an ace is being used as an 11 in their hand. As such, soft hands are generally considered better for hitting, as the players have a higher chance of improving their hands without going bust. In comparison, a hard hand uses an ace as a 1 and are usually considered better for standing, as you are more likely to go bust. Of course, both of these facts depend on the situation and cards at play. But if you were to double down, intermediates are now aware that it is more favourable to double on soft hands with totals of 12 to 17. Intermediates also use the dealer's up card as a point of reference. If the dealer's up card is 6 or lower, there's a greater chance the dealer will go bust. This means you would be more likely to stand on hands otherwise considered low. Conversely, if the dealer's up card is 7 or higher, intermediates will consider improving the hand as the dealer is less likely to go bust. Level 3. Advantage player. Advantage players understand every aspect, when to hit, the types of card in play and what they mean. They are fully memorized and versed in the Blackjack strategy chart and use it at their disposal countless times. This means they know exactly when to stand, but in particular, they begin to use certain strategies to put themselves ahead of the competition. Firstly, advantage players are able to use techniques such as shuffle tracking, which involves monitoring certain cards or card sequences throughout the shuffle of decks, allowing you to predict when advantageous cards are likely to be dealt. By doing so, players can anticipate favourable clumps of high-value cards and adjust their betting accordingly, effectively skewing the odds in their favour. Level 4. Card counter. Card counters observe the games in front of them, waiting for the right moment to pounce, which is why casinos can refuse to service any players suspected of card counting. Let's take a look at some commonly used card counting techniques. The Zen card system. The Zen count is a complex, 2-level system that assigns values based on both rank and suit. It requires memorizing specific card combinations and their associated values. Basically, it's a 2-level system with cards worth plus or minus 1 point, or plus or minus 2 points. In this system, the 8s and 9s are 0, so they do nothing. 2s, 3s and 7s add 1. 4s, 5s and 6 add 2. Aces subtract 1s, and 10s and face cards subtract 2. Based on each of the cards played, it shows the probabilities of certain types of cards being left in the deck. This is a more intricate system but less commonly used system than the high-low, but clearly they do show similarity. Card counters do this to overcome the house edge or even turn it to a player advantage. In fact, when the deck is favourable to the player, card counting increases chances of winning hands and profits. Level 5. High-low. The high-low system assigns a point value to each rank based on the card type. You begin with a running count, which would be 0 at the start of the deck. Then, as cards are revealed, you would keep adding or subtracting from the running count based on the point values. For example, if these were the first 10 cards, the running count would be plus 2. Now, the high-low system wants to find out the value called the true count, which would be the running count divided by the number of decks remaining. Of course, people aren't able to know the exact amount of decks remaining, but a rough estimate is what is used. As a result, the true count is then used by these players to determine how much they should bet for each round, where they generally tend to bet more with a higher true count. Of course, such techniques take greater levels of skill and preparation and are factors that casinos look out for. In fact, casinos take note of these patterns and are able to refuse service to individuals who use it. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to support the channel.